I welcome every one of you once again to this wonderful meeting, Marriage Lesson 316 with Jessil Oyinromu Eziako. Each time I have to come on air, there is a question in my heart, and it's a question in the thousands of hearts that requires answers, that requires solutions. And today, I want to address some certain issues that has to do with ladies in particular. For example, you often hear ladies, each time they keep crying or they keep shouting, "Men break my heart. I dated a guy for 5 years. At the end of the day, he abandons me to go and marry." They keep saying all kind of things. And when they are presenting these issues or when they are presenting their side of the story, I've often discovered that the blame is always on the man, on the man, on the man. They don't see where they missed it. They don't see where they get it wrong. Either they see and they want to deny it, or either they know, but they don't want to be blamed or to take responsibility for their life. They keep blaming the men. So I want to address the issues that affect the ladies, the single ladies in particular. Why some of the negative things that happen to you happens to you. Why men will use you and dump you. Why men can keep you servicing his bed, servicing his kitchen, servicing his house. After 5 years or more, he will leave you to go and marry the next person. Now, I want you to know there are values you place on yourself. You, as a lady, if you want to live a life that is void of heartbreak, if you want to live a life that is void of tomorrow regret, or you want to marry and when you marry, you have a peaceful marriage as a lady, I want you to know you must place value on yourself. If you don't place value on yourself, someone once said, if you don't place yourself to the position you desire and you deserve, he said, men will place you anywhere. When you don't have value for yourself, how do you expect others to have value for you? There are benefits that comes with you placing value. When I mean value, I don't mean being proud. When I mean value, I don't mean being arrogant. When I mean value, I don't mean being unnecessary bias against the male folk. When I mean value, you carry yourself with respect that you desire. And also, the value you place on yourself, you must also guide against undue access of men folks into you. There are so many unnecessary access. Imagine whereby you see a guy, they call it dating, Abi. Let me use their word. You see a guy who has been dating a one girl for 5 years. The parents does not know the guy. Neither the parents of the guy knows the girl. None. There have never been an official introduction. And you keep asking if you're privileged to interview the guy, ask him, this girl is good and you love this girl. What is stopping you from tying the knot? He will keep telling you there is no money. There is no money. You keep living together. Even if it's not living together, every weekend it comes. There is no money. Whenever you have erection, you beckon him, he comes. He washes your clothes. He cooks for you. And some go as far as they are living together. Living together 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And a guy is telling you he's not ready. If he's not ready, let him tie his manhood. Then when he's ready, he will not look for you. Or when he's ready, he can now go and do the right thing. But yet you still see so-called so many foolish ladies still remain there. And you are asking a guy for 1 year, for 2 years, what are we actually doing together? And he said, let's just be going. When we get to the bridge, we will think of crossing it. Is it every road that has bridge? He didn't ask him which bridge. And possibly your village, the road to your village has no bridge. You tell him that, sorry, there's no bridge on the way to my village. There is no bridge on the way to see my father and my parents. So let us cross that bridge now. So if we can, ladies, I'm speaking to you. If you can place value on yourself and cut this undue aspects of these negative men folks that are looking for where they will satisfy their erection, if you can cut that assets, it will help you so much. And let me also tell you, the value you place on yourself as a young lady has a lot of benefit. One of the benefits is that you have self-respect. You will have self-respect. When you set boundary for yourself, you feel better about who you are. You set boundary. The way you carry yourself determine who will approach you. But when you live yourself anyhow, anybody can approach you. Just like you have a food. After cooking wonderful delicacies, where it doesn't matter where you live. Just leave it unnecessarily open. It will shock you where flies, how flies will get to that food. Then when after cooking a delicious delicacies, you are not ready to eat it, and you close it and you pack it up, I make bold to tell you it will be difficult for flies to have access to it. When you don't carry yourself well, you lose your self-respect. You lose your self-respect. So it is important for you to place value on yourself as a young lady. The value you place on yourself will help you, number one, to attract self-respect. It helps you to set boundary for yourself and you feel better about who you are. Number two, you will avoid emotional heartbreak. You have emotional stability. You won't get into a complicated relationship. You can feel more stable and clear-headed. You see a matured lady. Marriage is all about responsibility. Marriage is all about headache, whether you agree or not. Marriage is all about headache. You will have so many headaches. You will have so many. So why not save yourself that headache now? If the guy is not ready, you remain. By the time you keep yourself, you carry yourself with self-respect, you place value on yourself, your emotion will be stable. You will avoid unnecessary thinking. The thinking that you should be doing in 10 years to come, you are doing it now. No wonder so many of our young boys and young ladies are suffering high BP, because when a child or when a young girl or a young lady entered into the stage he ought not to enter now, what is it causing? You are attracting problem for yourself. When you place value on yourself and restrict undue access of men folks to you, number three things he gives you, he also gives you time to grow. You have time to grow personally. You can spend more time on yourself, doing the things you like and you enjoy, and becoming a better version of you. You're becoming a better. You see some young girls, every time they are tensed up. When they are answering some call, they are tensed up. What is tensed up? My guy said he need 100K. My guy said he need 100K. I was listening to, I read some comment by Simi, the Nigerian singer that is married to Adekunle Gold. He said, I never billed my husband while we were dating. He said for all the years they dated, he never sent any bill to the husband. I was also watching 50 Cents. Somebody was being interviewing him. I don't know if it's again. I didn't watch the full. The question they posed before 50 Cents was like, who pays the bill on the first date? And the guy didn't think twice. He said, whosoever idea that date is all about. What does he mean? If a lady tells me we need to go out, then let the lady be ready to fuel the bill. But you see people, somebody, you're already disorganized, you're already disturbed, you're already carrying loads over somebody that is not responsible to you. Then when you got married, that's why you see so many young men today and so many young ladies today married, they are regretting. Why? Because they did not take time to grow personally. The time they're supposed to grow personally, the time they're supposed to think of enjoy themselves as a single and get to know and develop the better version of them, they use it to mess around. They use it to engage themselves in what is not needful. When you place value on yourself and you give men undue restriction, you don't allow any access of men into your life. Number three things that he gives you, I said, he gives you time to grow personally. Number four, I think I said, you can advance in your career. You advance. You focus on your goal in life, and you can also those goals that can help you to do better in your job and study in future. Before I got engaged with my wife, before I married my wife, she was already doing her first master in UNILAG. I got to know her when she was almost rounding up her first degree in UNILAG. Then she started her master already. That was when we were now serious about it. My first child came September 5th. 2008, my wife, who happened to be Friday, my wife submitted her project with Big Tommy Monday. That's 5 days to that day. Immediately she submitted, that was on Monday, and she submitted her project to her professor in UNILAG. He has to keep appointment with Professor Ajayi in Lut. Immediately she got there, the professor looked at her and said, go home and bring your things. We're admitting you. Funny enough, by the time because of the location where we were staying there in Lut, by the time she got to me, it was already late. Very early morning, Tuesday, we took her there. Friday, 7:15 a.m., I could remember, my baby came. After then, she kept developing. She has had another master's. She just finished one. Though, in my house, she did her postgraduate in education. In my house, she did her MSc, Master in Admin and Planning, in my house. But why she was waiting for the right man, she did not misuse that time. She was advancing herself in her career. And the money she used to spend for that master's came through her savings. Because immediately I showed face, some of the helps she was getting from her siblings, I didn't mean brothers, siblings, was reduced because the kind of man they're expecting her to present to them wasn't the kind of man I was then. But thank God they are happy today who their daughter got married to. And imagine if she has been wasting her time with one unserious guy, using those savings she was saving from what they were giving her, and when he was also working with the brother. Imagine if she's using it to pay bill for one nuisance, one idiot. How can she advance? Career advancement. You focus on your life goals and you think you get yourself committed in developing and advancing yourself. When you place value on yourself also as a lady, the fake benefit that you get is that you have a healthy relationship. When you value yourself, you are more likely to have a good relationship in future. You are more likely to have a good relationship in future. In future, I keep saying I knew of a couple. When I knew them as a couple. But from their story, they knew themselves in university. Their course, the least course that if they, let's say this, I think the least course in the university now is 4 years. Okay, 4 years. They did 1 year, what did they call it? Youth service in the same city, it's not 5 years. This couple get married. After these 5 years, I don't know if they have known before from university. After these 5 years, this couple marriage did not last 5 years. They broke up. The young man is since married. The young lady is since married. They only had a girl. I keep asking, that 5 years, you couldn't take 5 years to know yourself. What were they doing? Because I want to believe they get themselves engaged on unnecessary things, the things that are not important. You want to have sex. Sex where you go have for marriage, you go tire you. You want to have sex. You think that marriage is all about sex. You think that marriage is all about kissing. You think that marriage is responsibility. Somebody said, I cannot take nonsense. And then a wise man turned to him and said, if you can't take nonsense from any woman, please don't marry. Because marriage is a container of nonsense. Even you yourself that say you cannot take, you are full of nonsense. Because what you just spit out of your mouth is nonsense. So you better you remain alone and don't get anybody, don't carry anybody's child. Let me just add one more to you. If you place value on yourself as a young lady and you restrict the kind of men you give access to your life, you will have reduced stress. Medically, they will tell you that life is all about stress, but there are avoidable stress. There are avoidable stress. When I start paying bill for a young man in the name of my fiancé, in the name of I will marry you, when will it stop? As I'm asking you, lady, if you start now as undergraduate or even as a copper, you start paying bill for a man because he's giving you one story. You know, I am working hard. When I marry you, I will spoil you. It's not spoiling you now that he has not married you. And you're already paying bill. The little they are paying you every time you are asking for IOU. Every time. Even your own age parents, you are not committed to them. If you start now in those stress, when will it end? When you place value on yourself, when you shut your gate, the gate of your life, the gate of your leg, the gate of your emotion, your heart, if you shut it against all this unnecessary and the nuisance who call themselves young men, if you shut yourself against them and place value on yourself, you will have reduced stress. What you will only deal with is necessary stress. The stress that is necessary for your growth, the stress that is necessary for your self-esteem, and the stress that is necessary for your better future. So as I stop this, I will come with a part 2. As I stop here, please, especially if you're a lady, the men may be saying, what of us? I will come to that when I am led. Especially you a lady watching me, a young lady. You have been with a young man, living together, but you are not married. I want to advise you, please, do the needful. Break out from there. It is the value that you give yourself that determine who you attract. There is no guy who has not shown responsibility and commitment to you now that will show it after marriage. It's a lie. And there is what I keep saying this thing because I often hear it from the mouth of the original Wari Pikin. He said, see finish. That is what they call see finish. When a guy has started eating what he should eat in 10 years, started eating it 5 years before the time. Before that 10 years, it will sour. These are the kind of people that come to tell that men are promiscuous in nature. It's not true. It is because you open the leg you should open 5 years to come. The leg you're supposed to open it on wedding night, you open it now. Then when you open it, the guy don't swim. He don't get used to the water. And when it is time to unveil the water, which water are you unveiling? Honeymoon. You go to the honeymoon. what the honey the young man has been licking for 5 years without paying. You say after 10 years, you say honeymoon. There is nothing honey about it. If you are in any relationship that is not heading anywhere, or you're already living with a guy that is not showing commitment, is not committed to you, as a young lady, you are listening to me, I urge you, please, move out of that relationship. It's not too late for you, and retrace your step. And above all, I told you, it is important that you must find your identity in Christ, in your Creator, because that is what will help you to navigate the journey of your life unto purpose. And I pray the Lord will help you. The Lord bless you. As you listen to this broadcast, please share it for me. I plead with you. I'm not asking you for money. And in case you see anyone asking for money with my name, it's not from me. Don't respond. All I ask you, keep sharing this. Also, I will be posting my YouTube channel. Please go there, subscribe. You will hear more of my video. God bless you. I love you. The Lord be with you in Jesus' name.